Hello, hello. Good evening. It is Nemi Batstone here. Happy Canada Day. Welcome to my studio in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. And we are here with another global design project. So welcome to another weekly Facebook Live or replay for those of you who are catching it shortly after. So let's make sure we are up and running. And in the meantime, I am sad to say that there are no fireworks today. It's been rainy all day and festivities have been postponed, not canceled, but definitely postponed, which is kind of sad because everyone was looking forward to it. But, you know, it gave me, well, it was a kind of a nice relaxing day then to clean up a little bit in the craft space and to also get a few things done around, oh, you know, the usual laundry, things like that. But I do have my Canada shirt on. I also have my soccer ball in the middle. We have been busy watching Euro and Copa FIFA tournament this weekend, and it's been like game after game after game. So it's been fun. My kids love it. So you can't really say no to that. So before I begin and flip my screen, I am a little cold, so that's why I have my sweater on. Sorry, I might take it off shortly. But before we begin, I just want to do a couple shout outs because as most of you know, I have a summer promo. And so I just wanted to let you know that Sandy, you are in the wheel for at least for placing an order. Thank you very much. So you have at least 3 tickets in the draw already. And registrations for upcoming classes. I sent out my retreat and my bingo this week and today. And so shout out to Shell, Dawn, Barb, Christine. No, sorry. I have it written down here. Give me a second. There's quite a few people that have already, oh, it's on my phone. Shoot, I forgot to grab it from my phone. Who have registered for events. So you are in the draw for prizes for that after August 31st. And then for watching my Facebook Live last week. So thank you, Barb, and the likes and things like that. There was Barb, Monica, Kathy. It's all in my phone. So sorry. And you also get like 1 ticket for every like, share, comment, and etc. So there's tons of ways to earn tickets, and all the prizes are anywhere from embellishments all the way to stamp sets. So you really can't go wrong for entering in this prize. This is a, you know, just a fun challenge to keep us going for the summer and for you to keep on crafting. So if you definitely take a look at my summer promo, then you will easily be entered. So again, don't forget to like, share, and comment so that you'll be entered to win tonight's Global Design Project, number 452. So let's flip and I'll do a couple reminders and then we will. Okay, so just a reminder again that I have one of my favorite events on Thursday, July 18th, which is bingo. So everybody likes my bingo. Now just note that my bingo is a fun, relaxed way to spend your evening. No pressure. You get your kit afterwards. It is featuring the new stamp set. So it's Christmas in July is what it really is. So it's a lot of fun, and we play on YouTube. And the first person that spells bingo wins a prize. I thought I had it here. Where did it go? Anyway, I cleaned up, and now I can't find anything. That's the worst part of cleaning up is I put it all in my cart, so I'm ready to go, and now I can't find it. So again, today, if you are a part of my newsletter, you would have received the registration for the upcoming retreat. Now, I told everybody we're having Thanksgiving dinner. We're not having Thanksgiving dinner. We're having Thanksgiving feast. Like when Tamara from Taste of Time cooks for us, like we had Thanksgiving dinner last year, and it was like unbelievably delicious. Like there's no words to describe it. So you definitely want to come. We do the whole like she does the whole shebang. It's unbelievably amazing. And my retreat's $159, and you start Friday at noon and you don't finish till Sunday at 5. We do take a nap in between. We do sleep for a little bit, But that's like over 30 hours for $159. Plus you get Saturday's meals. You get 3 meals on Saturday, you get 2 meals on Sunday. Friday we do bring your own because everyone comes at different times. But we usually all just chip in and order pizza or Chinese and share it also. Totally worth it. And then my summer promo, which I just did shout outs for. So if for every $45 of purchase you make between now and August 31st, you get entered. If you register for classes or events, you get entered. If you join my team, you get entered. If you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you get entered. If you comment, like, and share any of my videos, between now and then, you get entered, and that's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And if you if you have a friend or refer a friend and they place an order, then you get entered. Like so many easy ways, nothing fancy dancy, but a lot of fun. Okay, so today's project is, I'm super excited because it's Case the Designer. And when we cased the designer and I looked at it, I was like, well, it took me a while to find it. It wasn't there this morning at 5 a.m. So when I usually wake up. But when I found it afterwards, midday, I was like, oh, we're casing Rose Marie Coleman. She is #1 in Canada, and I'm super excited to be able to take her design and case it. So remember, cases, copy and share everything, or copy and share with your edits. I've heard of that one too. But ideally, when we case a designer, we pretty much look at the image and take what we want from it. Maybe it's the DSP, maybe it's, and trying to stick to the layout as best as possible. But it's all about the design. So everything else change up as you want, but I usually like to keep to the design. Okay, so what is our design? Oh, and I did put in the notes up top, sidebar, that I did do the puzzle card. So if you want to stick around, we can do another puzzle card. This was the one that was in my newsletter. So if you're not part of my newsletter, now's the time to sign up. So just sign up or comment below and I'll add you to it. Okay, so what are we creating with? Okay, I keep jumping. So, country flowers. This week is all about country flowers. Last week we did country birdhouse, right? And it is here. So we did country birdhouse last week with this for Wednesday's class. And I can't remember if I did that one. Oh yeah, I showed that one as a design. And then we did the embellishments. So if you place an order between now and next Wednesday of $60 or more, I will send you a pack of that. And if you place an order, a minimum order of $45, then you will get this week's kit featuring the country flowers. So country flowers, and this last week was this birdhouse. So last week I had a few orders. So your kits will be packaged for this one, and then anybody from Wednesday and to next Wednesday, the 3rd, I think, will get this one. Okay, so that's what we're working on. So we're playing with this one and this one. So let's see what we got. So to start, we need our card base. So I've already created one, and we'll see which one you like better. But it's an easy card to create and fun to do it, fun to create with. I'll just move that out of the way. So I have my materials here, prepped and ready to go. I don't know if I cut my paper. I think I saved that. Okay, I did. So I have a base to put because I'm using Night of Navy and it's super dark. So the card, the designer series paper again that we're using is the Country Woods, and it has basic beige, basic gray, crumb cake, early espresso, gray granite, misty moonlight, pecan pie, petal pink, pool party, smoky slate, and wild wheat. So feel free to rewind that if you need to. But those are the colors that will be featured on Wednesday's online class. And then we'll be playing with this gorgeous paper that you see here, which you've seen plenty of with other designers, of course, or demonstrators who have been
placing lots of videos because this has part of the annual catalog and was definitely a favorite for quite a few. And this designer series paper went on back order for quite a while, came back and then went again. So it's very popular. Okay, so I have my pieces, one, two, three, four, and I'll show you where those all go. So I used three of the patterns of the six patterns in the kit. I love these. And this is the back side of those. Just as pretty. So when you can just choose whichever ones you want. Now, I did cheat, but I'll show you how I made those. And then you need a scrap piece of white, of course, and then a coloring for the inside or piece of cardstock for the inside because the Night of Navy is quite dark. Okay, so those are our pieces, or at least I picked for this, for casing the designer. Okay, so we're gonna, oops, have paper still stuck in there. So it's a card, a standard card, portrait style. So we're going to score it at 5.5. Okay, and then I'm gonna slide it over and using that score line as my guide, line it up at 2 inches. There we go. And then we're gonna chop. And that now becomes the top part of our card base. And then we need a bottom piece. So that's 1.5 based on her photo. It's kind of cool because I did make something similar like she did. So that was kind of neat. So now this you can just use for another card or for some Stampin'. And now that becomes the base. So we'll put that aside. Why is that out? And so now we have our two pieces for a card. So if you use a standard insert or standard layer, this will go on the inside. This will pop here and this will pop down. And then that is our card. But you're wondering, well, how do we keep it joined together? So you have a couple options. You can just use another piece of cardstock and go vertically. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a window sheet. So Stampin' Up! Sells window sheets at 12 by 12s. Now, if you don't have window sheets, I will tell you you can cheat and use the inserts of your card or of your stamp set. So whenever you get a stamp set, you get a flimsy piece, right? Like just garbage. And then you also get a thicker window sheet style piece, which you can use to actually make to use as a window sheet or as a piece of acetate. Hello, Kathy. So sad we're not together tonight, but totally get it. Holy rain. It's been raining all day. So this piece is 4 by 5.25, same thing as a standard card base. So we're going to use that to create and hold our pieces together. Okay, so let's begin. So to create the front, we're gonna do our stamping first, and then we'll get all of that out of the way. So I wanted to show you a little trick that I did, because I didn't want to color the whole pot. Where's my scrap? There it is. So I took a piece of scrap white, just any piece of scrap white you have lying around. Grabbed my smoky slate, and I won't be there for Canada Day festivities at Duval Community Club on Wednesday. So I'm gonna miss bingo again. And that's because I have class with you all. So, you know, that's important too. So, and I'm super excited about this country flowers class. There's so many pieces. Okay, so we're just gonna take our smoky slate and we're gonna swipe. We're just gonna swipe like so, like that. So you get that kind of grain effect. Now, I've done this technique many times with many of you, and I think we've done it too in in a retreat, online retreat. So it's been done. Now, what's great about that is you can do a full sheet and then you can make it look like wood grain and use it. Or you can, in this case, figure out where you want your stamp to go and then have that as your background. So we're using the big pail in this stamp set. And then we're going to die cut it using the dies. So this die set, it has like, how many pieces again? There are so many. Oh, I can barely read it. 15? Hard to believe that that's 15. So 15 die pieces. However, if you look, there's tons of little leaves and flowers in all of this. So you technically get like over 20, 23, or they're almost, yeah, 25 probably dies. So the bundle itself is 72.75, but you get 13 stamps and over 25 dies. Like, it's a beauty, let me tell you. Okay, so now we're just gonna take Memento, and you're gonna pick a spot. Well, really, on mine, you could probably fit two. So I can put one right here, and then you can see I get a little bit of darkness on this side, and then it's light on the other. Now here I'm super light, so I could technically, I think I can, out of this one swipe, maybe. Okay, I almost can get two. So I'd have to swipe a bit more to get my second one. Or you just leave it. Now remember, we're die cutting this, so it's okay. And you can just color that bottom piece in. So I went, so it's kind of looking like it's swiping. Well, if you go like this, it's swiping like so. So you could easily just take your smoky slate, so we just don't waste that corner, and just go, just practicing a couple times here so I don't get too much on there, because I don't want a lot. There. We get a little bit more on there, and now we have two buckets that we can cut out of there. Now this empty space here is what we would use to stamp the flower. And the flower, so with something like this card design, you'd want one of, you could use any one of these three. So I chose to use this big flower. So if we are, which fits perfectly here on this scrap piece of paper. So you can easily stamp, stamp, stamp. This is great because now I have extras. And you can easily just plop that there. And now you have your flower and you're ready to go. So I did cheat, and let me fill in the rest of my cheater piece. So I'm going to take this bucket, because I like this one better because it's got the dark on the other side. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp the word Flower Market inside. Now I'm going to try and, I'm going to go sideways because I can't get my head in there. I'm just going to stamp that in the bucket. Now what's really cool about the die on this one, that I really liked, is the fact that the stamp, the die cuts out a little spot here. So you have a full handle actually showing, I believe. So it it makes it look like a real handle, or the real wire or whatever it is that hangs down off of there. So with the fun joy of magic television, I decided to do all that ahead of time so you don't have to wait for me. So here is my bucket. So there's my bucket. So again, I used the swipe and did the Misty Moonlight. And then I die cut the flower and then I colored it using blends. So here, I'll just point out, I used Pool Party on this one, light and dark. And then I used Petal Pink on this one, light and dark. So I did darken the flowers. And then these, all these little ones, I used Daffodil Delight, light and dark again. Just waiting until it focuses again. There we go. And then I chose to go a little cray-cray and use Wild Wheat on that one, because it is one of the colors in there. So I've tried to stay within the color family suggested that coordinates with the paper. But then for the green, I used Mossy Meadow. But then I also die cut a leaf that came with it. This is a die that's in there, and I used Old Olive for this one. Okay, you could probably, I don't think it really matters, but you could punch that piece out too. So those are our three pieces that we need. So we are ready to assemble, I think. I think. I think so. Okay, so we've already got that. I'm going to move my inks out of the way so I don't get them dirty. And we shall begin. So, oh, we do have to do one more step. I forgot. And that is on the card front. And I want to do that before I assemble in case I make a boo-boo. Um, this goes here. Okay, so we're going to try and find that center again and put that there. So we're roughly there. Excuse me. And we're going to grab our Misty Moonlight. And I chose, oh, I just stuck my hand in there. Oy, oy, oy. And what did I choose? Oh, I cheated. That's right. So these So I really liked So Lucky to Know You. So maybe we will do that one. Maybe we will do that one. So Lucky to Know You, because it works. But I also played around with the My Small Business and love all the little things in there because I needed quite a few thank yous to send out to everyone that placed orders with me last month. So I needed to make some more of these. Um, so, but this time I think we'll use the stamp, and then you can tell me which one you like better afterwards. So this one has So Lucky to Know You. It works with what I have planned, and I think it just fits perfect. It just fits in that space there, as you can see. So we're going to pick up our stamp, ink it up with Misty Moonlight, and then we're going to just stamp it to the right, centering it as close as we can, just by eyeballing. And now we have So Lucky to Know You. Oh, look at that. Love it. Look how detailed and perfect. It looks like it's been typed or printed. It's so beautiful. So I love our polymer stamp. It's just crisp. And you'll see the crispness in the next card as well. So we have to clean that because if I don't, I seriously will get it all over me. Okay, I've already gotten ink on my hands and we just started. Okay, so that goes there. And you know what? We could actually probably just glue this down now. And we're ready to assemble anyway. We pretty much have, I think, everything because I pre-colored ahead of time and made things fast. But on the Friday, I know I probably, because it's Fun Friday, sent you the measurements to that puzzle slider card that I was challenged with, and I hope you understood my instructions. But if not, and are interested, then give me a thumbs up or hello, and then or comment yes, and then I will definitely stay on to show you how to make that card. At least give you the base of it, because it might have been a little confusing. Okay, so that is our card. Now, I have some pieces here, like I said. So these are only a 1/4 inch shorter or narrower, I should say, in height and width. And I have these beautiful patterns. And we're going to keep this one because I forgot we have to stamp that one too. See, I'm already forgetting. Okay, so this is going to go on the top. So we'll glue that one down on the flap, and I'm going to flip it so that I can see it. Now, you may or, oh yeah, you can see the line. But look at how pretty that one is too. So you could also use that side. Pick whichever side you like. But again, it's case to designer, so doesn't matter. And if you want to come back to this video and share your finished product, sweet. And I will definitely give you another prize drop ticket. Maybe two, because that's just so worth it. Okay, and this is our bottom. So we're going to pick one of these again. And I think I'll go with this one. We'll see. See if it looks good. It's got a lot of gray, so I was a little iffy on it. But I'll show you what I did at the end with my other designs, which I do like, but also don't. Okay, so we got that, and just making sure we're straight and we're in line. This is why I like liquid glue, because you can move it around. And that is the bottom half. So we got the top, we got the bottom, perfect. And now we need our window sheet in there. So our window sheet is what's gonna create the front and allow our pieces to stay together, like so. In order to do that, I personally prefer to use tear tape over liquid. I just find it easier to work with when it comes to window sheets. And to make sure I get it right, I'm just gonna put a piece here. Now this is 4" by 5¼ so it should be good. Now it's tear tape, which means you can use your fingers and just tear it, but I'm just not that type of person. So I'm just gonna go and use my scissors because I prefer to use my snips and just have that clean cut. Then it's easier to remove. Okay, so again, I'm putting a piece here. Do, 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 do. And then a piece on here, whichever is my top. So this will be my top. So I'll flip it this way. So I don't think it really matters when it's directional and not really strong pattern, but I like to make sure. Now I did cut this 4 by 5¼ So you could use your window sheet to this, standard size as a 5½ by 4¼ But I did mine to match so that you don't really notice that it's there. But you don't have to. So I'm going to take this now. So you can, whichever way works. Now I also like doing it 4" because remember, our window sheets sell in 12 by 12. So if you do 4" you can get 6 because 4, 8, 12, 3 across, and then 2 down. So you're going to get 6. So that's why I also like doing it. Oh, and tip, I didn't go to all the way to the edge because it is only 4" wide. And then if the glue is touching here and here on that Night of Navy card base, it's not going to open. So that is why you see my glue shorter than normal. So we're just going to line this up to the bottom, press down, and then we're going to do the top. So we're going to peel this off. See, sometimes it's really hard, so you can use your take your pick tool. If you can't, get that off with your fingernail. Okay, again, just lining that up, making sure I'm good on the bottom. It's okay if it goes over because we're going to cover anyway, but I just want to make sure we are good here. And then this goes down, and ta-da! Now we have this flap. And you can see it on the back side. See where my tape is? So we're going to cover that up. Okay, so we're going to cover it up with our paper here. So this is going to go here, and we could change colors if we want. Yeah, sure, why not, right? And then this is going to go here. But before I glue that, I want to stamp on it. And this is where I'm going to take that beautiful sentiments from this new stamp set, which is My Small Business. I love it. It's $26. So if you're Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you definitely want to pick this up. So you get your 20 or 25% off of that. So you're pretty much getting a stamp set for like 20 bucks. Now, if you're not, it's 26. But it's fantastic and great, and a great way to show your customers that you appreciate them. Okay, so we have this piece, which is just 1/4 smaller than 2" by 5¼ And we're going to take our Misty Moonlight. Now what I did was I took 2 of the stamps and lined them up using grid paper. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I stamp it, but it is a big thank you. Big word thanks. So love our juiciness that comes from these gorgeous stamp sets. Our ink pads. So we're going to flip it sideways so that I can center it. Just because I can't put my head in there. And then I'm going to drop it in place. Using my big block here so that I make sure I get everything. Yep. There we go. I wonder how many people are still having Canada Day parties anyway. So there it goes. So I have you. Your support deserves a big thanks. And that is going to go here on the inside. So it says, so lucky to know you. Your support deserves a big thanks. Perfect. So as you know, whoever comments, likes, or shares gets entered into the draw and gets this card. So I always leave them blank so that you can just give them to whoever you want and gift it. So that works out really well if you want to give somebody a big thank you for anything they've done for you. So there we go. So now we can put adhesive on the back of this. So again, I like to use my tear tape because we're using window sheet. I just more confident knowing that it is stuck on there real good. So now I did change this up a bit compared to my original design. So I'll show you, but it's not by much. And I don't think it makes or breaks the card the way I did it either. Okay, so the reason why we put that there is to cover up the glue, to be honest. Now this can go here, so we can match exactly and make that really pop out, or we can flip it. And I think I'll flip it so then you just get that different designer series paper option on there. Okay, so I'm just gonna add, again, my adhesive. This is such a pretty, like there's so much you can do with this stamp set. This bundle is definitely over the moon. And I've already used it a couple times in the past weeks when I've mashed them up with other stamp sets, like Attention Shoppers. And last week with Country Birdhouse, we already did a mashup there. So lots of good uses with this one. And there we go. So there is our card base. So we have this, which is the front, and it's stuck together using that window sheet. And you can see, so lucky to know you, shining through. And then you open it up, and we have the two designer series paper with your support. This is a big thanks. And now you still have plenty of room to write a note. And then we just need to build our centerpiece here to the side. So I'm going to get rid of all that paper there. And we're going to build our flower. So I took this and split it. So we're going to do that now. And I pretty much just split it here at this flower because I felt there was just too much in one spot, and then we can spread this out. And then I cut it here. So then now we have two pieces of the flower. And this one needs a little bit of shaping because I cut that. Well, it's not too bad, but you can see this flower here. Let's put it in my hand. It's kind of like, looks like somebody cut it or something. So all you have to do is just go in with your snips and just tailor that a little bit and cut that ends off. Now it just looks normal again because that is where you cut it. So you can't even tell. So now we're going to build that onto our bucket. Now, I prefer to use mini glue dots, but I've seen people use liquid, and that's just not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. So I prefer to use mini glue dots. And I'm going to put one right there. I'm going to put one on those two little guys, on the two leaves, because that's the side it's going to sit on. I'm not too concerned because the flower is going to cover some of that. So we're just going to put that right there. So, right about there. Doesn't have to be fancy, but just like so. So remember, this is sitting here and holding along that bottom. And then this other flower, oops, I kind of bent it a bit, is going to go here. So we can position that however we like. We can even go this way, so then we have more fleur, more leaves on the bottom. I just don't want to cover up that marketplace. And then this one will just go up top. So see how it stretches up there? So I think we're going to go sideways a bit on this one to get that on that side. And then that'll drape there. And it's okay if it hangs over, as long as it doesn't hang over the edge completely, right? Because then it won't fit in the envelope. And then this will sit roughly, oh, maybe there, like so. Beautiful. It's a nice little dry fit just to make sure it works. So we're going to add a mini glue dot here and there. So let's put one there. And one there. Excellent. So that should give us some hold on there, and we can drop that down along the edge right about there and stick that on. Perfect. And we don't have any glue showing, which is good because you'll see that on the back side. So again, this is going to sit here, and then this will sit right about there. So see how much it just stretches, and similar to what our design, Rose's design is. So she used a window sheet. Now it looks like her piece is a little longer at the top, and she used a bow, but she's got vellum underneath, and she pretty much stretched her balloon to hold the two pieces, including the vellum. So this time we're using a window sheet instead, and that's going there. Now, if you do not have window sheets, don't panic, because you don't have to just use a window sheet. I'll show you, because I made a couple that are similar, and I did not use a window sheet on one of them. Okay, so I kind of know where I'm going, so I'm going to put a mini glue dot there just to hold my flower, because we're going to hold it up top as well. And then we're going to add another mini glue dot. Ew, where was that again? Roughly there. So on this flower here. So I'm going to fold it in half to make it stick. Okay. So we're going to go roughly there. So we're kind of spaced evenly with the lucky to know you. And then we're going to stretch this one up. Perfect. And that is our flower pot. Beautiful. I love it. I hope you like it too. Hello, Christine. Happy rainy Canada Day. Hope you didn't have to go out. I know we didn't. I'm so grateful that I spent time yesterday planting my flowers. I didn't finish all of them because I had to do a ton of weeding. And I really need to get me some fancy perennials because I need to stop weeding that garden. It's so full of grass, and it needs to had so much grass clippings fly in it too, which doesn't help. And the kids play soccer there, so nearby, so the ball constantly gets in there, and it's frustrating. So I need to get some really sturdy perennials and big ones so you can see them from the house. So open to suggestions if anybody has any. Okay, so we just want to make sure that that flower pot, that the dimensionals are not showing on the backside. So when we flip it over, you don't want to see dimensionals anywhere in there. Or if it doesn't matter to you, that's fine. And there you go. There's that bottom piece there. So we're almost done. Seriously. So I have a fancy cloth that I got for wiping all the fingerprints off of my photos for scrapbooking. And I can't remember who made this for me, but she had so many and gave each of us one, which was awesome because I don't sew. So I'm just going in here and just removing any fingerprints that I may have on there. And then same thing with the backside especially. There we go. So a piece of dirt there I saw. So I'm just going to make sure that that's gone. Excellent. And there is our almost finished card. Because you know what's missing? Some bling. It needs bling. So let's pull out the coordinating basic gray and smoky slates and get some bling in there. Put our tools away so I don't lose them. And let's see, what do we want to do? So we can, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to take a couple of the, let's do some big ones. And we'll do the darker colors first. And we'll do one here maybe. And yeah, let's do one beside it. Down below. And then we'll do a couple up there and maybe one to the side. So let's use the minis. Maybe we'll do the same color this time. Not be such a rebel. And do a few up there. Two. And then maybe a third. Or maybe we should do a third one over here. So lucky to know you. Period. And then we'll move this one closer. So we kind of have the two. Okay, so what do you think? So I did stick one on the embellishment sheet, or sorry, on the acetate sheet, so it looks like it's kind of popping and standing out. And you could also add a piece of linen thread in here. Why don't we do that? Let's add a bow, because I didn't. The coordinating ribbon that goes with this is this set here with the pink, the petal pink, and the white, which is called diagonal trim combo. I think that's too thick. Well, I shouldn't say that. We could have put it there the way Rose Coleman had hers in her design, but I find that that takes away from the blue, and I just think it's a little too thick since this is a flower pot. So we'll add my usual favorite, linen thread. And I will tell you, it is one of the prizes for participating in my summer challenge because I love linen thread and it's a basic. Not to say that all my prizes are basics, but it is a basic tool and so useful of an embellishment because it goes with everything. Now we could have did a double bow, but I don't want to do a double bow. I think a simple one is just enough, and we'll stick it right there. Gives it that extra pop, and I love the long tails, so we're gonna do a long tail. We'll shorten this one just a tad, because I think it's a little too long. And there you have it. That is my card. Now, you could also turn this into the puzzle slider card. Yes, it is included in your summer challenge. Absolutely. So I have a customer summer challenge, summer promotion, and then I have a team summer promotion. So if you join my team, we post the weeklies, and then they get a point for finishing every global design project design. And then if they post it on their own social media page or on Instagram, like their own personal, they get a second one. So so there's two. So if you aren't part of my team, you kind of almost double dip in a way, which on some things. So yes, and if you join the retreat, Christine, then you get a draw into this one. So that's the way it rolls, because it's not just about the gifts. It's about the circle, the crafting circle that I really enjoy creating and building and sharing. To me, that's important. Okay, so this was my original, and it says handmade for you. So this is the one I did. So you can see I kind of used the similar paper, but on the inside, I've got the same thing, but instead I put your support, your deserves a big thanks, at the top rather than the middle. So you can see it's kind of changed. And I didn't put any bling on the window sheet like I did on this one. Now my first design was this one. And this one, if you don't have acetate, I used paper. So this is sitting on top, same design, and just change that. And then actually when you open it up, so I did a double layer and it says your support deserves a big thanks. So I did a double layer. Now you can see here, I also doubled it up because I stamped after I glued and it was not a pretty stamp. So I had to do it again. So that's why there's a double layer and why you're not getting this one because this was my original. So you can see off to the side, no window sheet. Instead, I used cardstock and it's flush. And then this is with dimensionals on it, but same flower. You can see my coloring doesn't turn out exactly the same each time and just different paper. So let me know if you like the cardstock version or if you like just this plain acetate version. And now this one is the exact same. Except I changed the stamp and added the ribbon. So does the ribbon make a difference? Yes or no? I think it kind of does. So the winner of tonight's draw will get this one. So you have until tomorrow. And then Wednesday when I come to my online class, I will share who the winner is and then pop it in the mail. So you got a little time. So yeah, so those are my two differences. So we could have used vellum. I didn't. I should have. But this was my original with the cardstock, and then I tried it with the acetate sheet, and then I did the acetate sheet here for you. So those are it. So that is Global Design Project. Now it is liked and shared. Thank you. Oh, you like the acetate one? Yeah, me too. I mean, I do like. I'm in love with basic beige because I do find that it changes its tone with everything. And so with the basic beige here and everything kind of popped, it doesn't really look like it's, that it's actually stuck on there. So I don't know what else to say. So I guess we do have a bit of time. Let me check the time here. 7:49. So almost. Now, this is the puzzle slider card that I shared on Friday via email. Would you like me to share with you? Now, there's only a couple of you on right now. So if you want, I can just share with you because I gave the directions and instructions in my email. So if you are part of my email on the list, you would have gotten this for Friday. But I don't know if it made sense, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So if you need some guidance, just give me a thumbs up and I can keep going here. Otherwise, I will pass on it. But it's pretty simple. But I just wanted to make sure it made sense because I was a little worried. Thumbs up. Okay. I'm getting thumbs up from people, so I will show you how I created that. And we will use the same stamp. Like I won't decorate it unless, we'll see how time is. And I'll leave everything out for now in case we do have time. Although I use the teapot. So on this one, I use the teapot because I just wanted to see what the teapot was like. And then I did some corral stamping here because I wanted to do like corral. And that's that little stamp there. This little patterned one. And then, I don't know, it just reminded me old school teapot, vintage, my mom. So had to put that there. And I just used I Can't Thank You Enough, which comes from our famous perennial postage, which was a carryover. So I love these sentiments. And we're going to do those again in bingo. So July 18th, sign up now for bingo. I don't charge lots. And I don't make money because and it's not my intent to make money. It's just my intent to have fun. And all the more people that register, the bigger the pot. So, like the whole $30 literally goes towards the pot. So if 10 people sign up, that's $300 in prizes. So the more the merrier. Okay, so let's pick a color and a piece of cardstock or designer series paper. So I really like that blue, but let's see here. Because I already got some cut up, but who cares? I got plenty. Let's go with this one because I super duper love it. and then it'll stand out a bit. And let's see, coordinating colors. Let's see if we can either do some pecan pie. We can use crumb cake, and we can also use early espresso. So let me just grab my samples here and see which ones of those neutrals we want, unless one of you have a suggestion. So feel free to pop that in. So here is our neutrals. So we've got crumb cake, we've got pecan pie. I don't need you anymore, so I'm going to move you. And we have early espresso. Oh man, I think I'm leaning towards that early espresso again, but it's a little dark. So I don't want to work with that one too much. But we do have smoky slate, but there's no gray in this one. Misty Moonlight, Basic Gray. Oh, what's Basic Gray like? We might be able to get away with that one. Or go light with Pool Party. Oi, that might be too light. Oh, I got a little smoosh on there. Yeah, I think that's a little too light, and the other blues are too bright. So let's do crumb cake. I think I'm okay to show you it through crumb cake. You like the early espresso. Okay. Okay, we shall. I mean, I did it once with that first one. I was just worried it might be too dark, but it is a nice color, and we can pop it off this guy here. Okay, so I'm going to grab a piece of early espresso. So give me a second here, because I had it out, then I put it away. Or maybe I have none left. Nope, I've got some. Okay, crumple, crumple. Let's grab early espresso. Okay, so I believe the measurements, not Pool Party, okay. Yeah, I didn't really like the Pool Party. It was too light, but you definitely have to go in the browns. So let me just make sure, because I don't have the measurements off the top of my head. I think I recall it being 4¼ by 9½, or 9. So I just want to make sure. And I should have wrote them. I was going to write them on a piece of paper, and then I changed my mind. But I could also use the, what do you call it? There you go. So it's 9½. So my email isn't what I was trying to say. Okay, so we're going at 4¼ So I've lined it up at 4¼ So on my paper, 4¼ Perfect. Okay, so we're going to cut that. And then we need 9½. So I'm going to swing my arm out and line it up at 9½, which gives me 1½ inches on my other side, because that adds up to 11. So I'm 9½ there, and I'm right on the edge of my paper trimmer over here, because our paper trimmer is 1½ inches on the other side. So there, so 9½, 1½ inches, 1½ here, and 9½ there. So I'm perfect. So we're gonna cut that off. Okay. So next it says to score at 1 inch and 2 inch on both sides. So we're gonna line up the 1 inch here, just because it's easier for me, and I like my paper hanging off this way. So we're gonna do 1 inch. And then I'm going to flip it so I can line it up to the 2 inch mark. Okay, so 1 inch, 2 inch. So now we're going to do that again. So I'm just going to slide that over. 1 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it. And we're going to go to 2 inches. So that should leave us with 5½ in the middle, because that's 4 inches, 9½ minus 4 inches. I know the math. Pain in the ass. Gotcha. But just helping you out. Just helping you think of the math. Okay, now that we have that, all we have to do now is score it. So we're going to fold it into that typical zigzag fold that we always do. There we go. Now this is a similar base fold for when we do a Z fold, except we're just switching up our Z-fold pattern. Oh, okay, so there and there. So that's what it should look like from the top view. So you see that? Oops. Looks like that. So that's what's going to allow us to move in and out. And we should have in the middle 5.5. So let's just double check. Yep, 5.5. Perfect. But I usually go just a smidge shorter because if you do 5.5 exactly, sometimes it hits into those crease lines. So you might just need to do a smidge off. Okay, so now we've scored that. Okay, so now we need the same coordinating pieces. So we're going to use the other half of our sheet here. Okay, and then we're going to cut to make our puzzle pieces. Now, when you do this, you can do 2 pieces or 3 pieces. So there is math to do 3 if you like the 3 puzzle piece look versus the 2. Now, I'm just sticking to 2 because it's way simpler. Okay, so now we're going to turn it sideways like this. Gonna make sure I'm in the camera here. And we're gonna cut at 2 1/4. Okay, so my instructions said 2 1/4. Now, because the width is 2 1/8, and guess what? This is 4 1/4. So we're already there. We're halfway there. So we're gonna cut a piece at 2 1/4. There's our 2 1/4, and then we're gonna cut a piece at 3 1/4. Because guess what? What does that add up to? Okay, so now we have leftover. Put that aside. Now we're going to turn and we're going to pretty much just cut this in half and go at 2 1/8. That's half. Because remember, this was 4 1/4. So there's our 2 pieces. And they should be exactly the same. And then same thing here. We're going to go 2 1/8. Okay. 2 1/8. And ta-da, we got our 2 pieces. Okay, so how does this puzzle work? The puzzle works like this, right? Crisscross applesauce. There you go. So that's exactly how that fits. So to get our base, right, we're just going to take those now and glue them onto the flaps. Now, if this bothers you because it's so foldy, you can, if I can find them. Oh, where are you? I don't use him. Oh, there he is. You can grab your tweezers. Now, I prefer my Stampin' Up ones because they're stronger. And pinch that. This is what Brenda Quintana did when she showed us how to do it. I'm just going to do a quick check. Okay. And I'll do this side first. I'm going to make this side mine because I might have to trim just a hair there. Whereas this one, I seem to be better. Okay, so we're going to take some adhesive and we're going to build our puzzle. Now, you'll notice I'm sideways because it just works better for me that way. I'm not, because we're going to go vertical here. So we're going to just add adhesive on there. Okay. I put a little extra because my tweezers are in the way. Now you're going to take that 3 1/4 piece and you're going to butt it right to that corner and line it up. It's important that it's butted up 90 degrees and that it is straight on this edge. So it's really good to use liquid glue because you want to make sure you're right in that corner. And that first piece is critical because it's going to drive all the other pieces because it's a puzzle. So if your puzzle's off a little, guess what? It's not going to work. Now you're going to take your other piece, which your other 2 1/8. I just dropped my stamp set if you're wondering what that was. And we're going to butt that up against the other piece. And again, line it up here. Now mine looks like it's a little off, so we're going to trim that. And that's okay. So you can see it's literally a hair. So it's not a big deal. But we want to make sure everything is good. Okay, there we go. So now you're just going to do the exact same thing, but on the opposite side. So again, if you need to use your tweezers, you can. And just to get that glue on there and hold it in place. So you're just going to do literally the complete opposite and fill in that gap. So this should fit here. This should go flat and we should be at that end. I've got some glue on my finger. Now make sure we're at that corner. This is why the tweezers are kind of nice. And we are flat and good. Okay, almost there. There we go. And then this one should fill in that last spot there. And there you have it. And there is your puzzle. So I think you can see that. You can see where it opens and how we did that. And it just pops open like so. So again, I was off just a bit here. So and I don't like that. And am I good here? So I can kind of slide this one just a bit. Now it's liquid glue, so I have a few more seconds. And then I'll just trim it. There. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer and fix that edge. I like to use my guillotine when I do this kind of thing. And I'm just going to cut that edge off so we're flush. See, it's literally a hair line off. Okay, so now we have that straight edge. I don't have that double line there anymore, peeking out. Hard to tell on the crumb cake, but or on this early espresso. And that's pretty much it. So the only hard piece that I didn't really explain myself very well on, because literally it was hard to explain, is now we need our designer series paper. And our designer series paper is 5 by 3 3/4, I believe. Let me just double check. 5 by 3 3/4. Yes, it is. So we're going to trim this guy 5 by 3 3/4. Now, I don't like to waste paper. So I am going to trim, let's see. So we're vertical and so we're going to go 5. Doesn't matter which way I go. No, it doesn't. So I'm going to go 3 3/4 this way. So just keep in mind, you want your 5 inches going in the right direction you want. So because I don't like to waste, I'm going to go my 3 3/4 this way. And I can put that aside. And then now I can go 5. So my lines on my paper are now going horizontal. Okay? And then my back I can still use horizontally as well, or vertical. Okay, so we still need our trimmer. So this is the piece that sits here. And then I said, oh, so make sure you flip your top. Make sure you know your directional and know which one's your top. Why does that look a little crooked? Let me double check here. 3 3/4, 3 3/4, 5. Okay. So the first cut we're going to make is we're going to do that 1 7/8 inch. Now the reason I say that is because we want to make sure our height is right. So we're going to do that first cut this way. And we're going to line it up at the 1 7/8 inch mark. Like no word of a lie, this card goes really fast, but because I'm doing it in so slow to make sure you understand, it makes sense. So if you were directional, like say you had a nice flowered pattern, then you got to know which is your top, and now this is your bottom. Okay, so now this is the top, this is the bottom. So we're going to cut this one because our top is this big. We're going to do the 3 inch piece first. So we're going to cut this at 3 inches, like so. Make sure 3 inches. So if this was a pattern with sky and trees and flowers, you want to make sure you're doing this right. Okay, so that's my 3, like that, see? My 3, and then my 2 and 2 inch one. So now we're going to go 2 inches, because remember, it's the other edge, the other side, the bottom has to go the opposite. So we're going to, and like so, there. Comprende? Just like that. So now we know bottom. So again, if this was directional and had some kind of fancy pattern, you'd have to make sure you're the same. And then we're going to go like this. Okay. And put that on there. So pretty with the blue. And then our other piece, which is the bottom corner down here. So if you were to butt these up, you would see they line up still, right? Now, if you don't want that big of a gap, then obviously you just cut a bigger front. And then we'll do the other side. Okay. So this is pretty much it. The rest you can figure out and decorate as you like. Like that. And then our last piece. Dun, 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 which then goes here. And there you go. Now the rest is up to you. So you can put another designer series paper on the inside to give it that look. And then you have, if you want to do a peeping look, so say you did a floral, then maybe you want that sky or something framed on the inside. And that's how you make a puzzle slider card. So for mine, when it's standing up and you kind of open it a bit, you can see the wood in there and then that little bit of paper in the middle. So when you open it up, there's still 3 inches by 5.5 that you can write on. And I just put 1/2 inch strips on either side and that closes. But then when it's standing, you see that wood grain in there as well. So I think that's pretty cool. So you could do the same thing with your design and make sure you have that peeping look through there. And then I use ribbon on the side just to give it that little extra, which you can do. And I just wrapped it. See, it's just showing. It's just showing there on the other side. There you have it. So that's your puzzle slider card. Looking forward to seeing what you make with that. And it stands up really nice. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for my online class featuring the same bundle and make sure and the same designer series paper. So if you have that, that's fantastic. And then pretty much any coordinating color as mentioned in the suite. So thank you. Happy Canada Day. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we shall see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Happy Stampin'. Bye.